Welcome to Most Loved Wrestling, the place where wrestling is most loved. Saturday night's main event is this coming Saturday. And to be fair, I'm unsure of whether it's a PLE or not, but it's WWE on a Saturday, which pretty much quantifies what a PLE is. Now I got a little extra time on my hands, so I thought to myself, why not create a predictions video? It's Christmas time. That allows the gamblers to go put all their money on everything that I say and get themselves a little extra income. But before I put you on, put a like on this video, subscribe to my bullshit, and hit the notification bell. It helps with the algorithm. So if you like what I'm doing and believe that the world deserves to bear witness, then this is how you can make it happen. So first match we're going to start with, Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. Now this match is the latest match to be added to this PLE, and it came about because Drew McIntyre is just a little bit salty. He watched War Games, he saw Sami, Jimmy and Jay standing tall and standing next to CM Punk, standing next to Roman Reigns, two people that have made his life hell, two people that he hates with a passion. But it seems that his reasoning is not so much CM Punk, it seems that it's more about them teaming with Roman Reigns. And I can understand that. As a man that wants to be the world champion, you can't afford for a team like the Bloodline to be recreated and reaping havoc. And as far as he's concerned, there's no reason to why they're going to act any different from the way they acted the first time around. So Survivor Series gave him the push that he needed to come back. And last week on Raw, he took out Jay backstage, and then he came through the crowd and kicked off the features of Sami Zayn's face with a Claymore. And then this week, Sami Zayn decided that, nah, I'm going to handle my business. He went to Adam Pearce, got himself a match at Saturday night's main event with Drew McIntyre. But as we saw, Drew McIntyre's not waiting for no Saturday. He came to Monday Night Raw and he laid out Sami Zayn again. Now, if you ask me, I don't know why Sami's doing this to himself. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I could be wrong, but I don't think that Sami Zayn has ever beaten Drew McIntyre in a one-on-one match. So why the hell are you challenging him to a one-on-one match? Pick up a tool, find him backstage, bust his head, do something. But don't challenge him to a one-on-one match, knowing that you're going to lose because you've lost every other time prior. You've done this with Seth Rollins last week, and that resulted in what? You getting small cradled and losing. But that's all in the past. Let's talk about what's going to happen at Saturday night's main event. Now, this isn't a new gimmick for Drew McIntyre, but it almost is. He seems a bit more unhinged than he was last time, a little bit more sinister. Not to mention, he's just coming off a loss, and that's not only just a loss of a match, he lost an entire rivalry to CM Punk. So that information tells me that WWE can ill afford to allow Drew McIntyre to be looking up at the nights at Saturday night's main event. However, Sami Zayn, they can afford that. That is okay, that is more acceptable. So whilst I think it's going to be a very entertaining bout, I think we're going to play it safe and make sure that Drew McIntyre walks out of this PLE with a W in the win column. Then we move on to the inaugural Women's United States Championship match, the finals of the tournament. Now, it hasn't been decided which two women will have the opportunity to compete to become the inaugural champion. We are getting to witness history being made here. So right now, I've pretty much got to take a little shot in the dark, or should I say a shot in dim light, not the dark, because we know it's going to be 2 of 4 individuals. So there's going to be 2 semi-finals matches on SmackDown on Friday. It's going to be Bayley versus Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton versus Mi Chin. So I'll start with Bayley versus Chelsea Green. Now, if Bayley wins the United States Championship, there's nothing wrong with that. However, she's already a bona fide main eventer. She's a bona fide Hall of Famer. She's had a successful career. She's not been held down. She's received opportunities. She doesn't need the United States Championship also. Admittedly, her being the first United States champion would give it a huge shot of legitimacy. And that's because of all the reasons that I just mentioned. Now, her opponent, Chelsea Green, doesn't have those same credentials. It's fair to say for Chelsea Green that she's received next to none in terms of opportunity in the WWE to become something, to become a champion. She was even robbed of the Money in the Bank in her hometown, Toronto, Canada. Then again, I don't actually think she's from Toronto, and I can't remember if Money in the Bank was even in Toronto, but I do know it was in Canada. But either way, she's from Canada, she's a Canadian. She was robbed of the Money in the Bank in front of her people. Now answer me this. If we're going to create a mid-card title, not another main event title, a mid-card title, what are we doing with it? It's to create opportunity. That's the whole point of a mid-card title. You don't look in the UFC, you don't look in boxing and see mid-card titles. You see titles for different weight classes, you see titles for different genders, you even see titles for different regions. And that's because only the top prize matters. But that's not the case in the WWE, that's not the case in wrestling. We have main event championships and we have mid-card championships. So giving the mid-card championship to a main eventer, all that does is deny opportunity. And I do think that the WWE will see it that way. So I don't know how she's going to do it. I don't know how she's going to achieve it. I don't know how it's going to happen. But I do believe that Chelsea Green will defeat Bayley and head to Saturday night's main event. Then there's Tiffany Stratton versus Michin. Now Tiffany Stratton has already done egregious crimes to the United States Championship tournament just last Friday. Of course not her fault, it's booking, but that's not the point. She's done egregious crimes to this tournament already. She should never have beaten Naomi. And that's coming from me, one of the #1 Tiffany Stratton marks. I just refuse to be loyal to a fault. She should have never have won that match. She shouldn't be in this tournament anymore. She already has the money in the bank. Go away with your money in the bank. Focus on cashing that in and becoming a world champion. I know only one person can win this tournament, so I know either way, Naomi probably wouldn't have been the champion anyway. But at least let her have the opportunity to talk about being in this tournament. Let the fans speculate on her. Showcase herself. Tiffany Stratton still being in this tournament, it does nothing for it. Michin, on the other hand, she's someone that could really create a career of winning this championship. Because if you look at it, she's had such a good year, probably the best year of her WWE career, but yet she hasn't put a stamp on anything. Her signature is nowhere. But then the question is, does the WWE care? Do they care enough to give Michin a stamp on her career? Are they going to give her a pat on the back and say, here's your reward for all those bangers that she was putting on down in NXT? She even managed to make a stupid gimmicky match like that dumpster match that she had with Chelsea Green. That was a banger of a match and I didn't expect it to be. So where's her reward for all of this work? The question really is, does the WWE care? And I don't think they do. I don't think the WWE cares enough to give Michin this. I think their focus and their cares lies within Tiffany Stratton and making her look good. So I do believe that even though it's a bad booking, once again, she's going to overcome Michin and she's going to walk into Saturday night's main event. So now that means the finals will be Chelsea Green versus Tiffany Stratton. Now I really don't think that the WWE would be so annoying to give Tiffany Stratton not only the Money in the Bank, but the United States Championship, the first United States champion. I don't think they'll be that irritating to do that. But hey, they hired Naomi for no reason apparently. So it's possible that they could be that irritated. But here's the thing, Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton have the history from the Money in the Bank. Tiffany Stratton's the person who robbed Chelsea Green of the Money in the Bank. And secretly, low-key, this is a tag team that we don't know that we need. Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green would be a fire tag team. But they also make great rivals. We saw their chemistry the week after the Money in the Bank, so we know that they work well together. And I think WWE sees it too. So I think it's going to be a case of they gave Tiffany Stratton the Money in the Bank. Now it's time to let Chelsea get a little bit of revenge, let her get a little bit of a lick back and become the inaugural United States champion. So there it is. That's my prediction. Chelsea Green to win the United States Championship. Am I reaching? Probably. Is it wishful thinking? Definitely. But you know, sometimes you got to will things into existence. Next is the Women's World Champion Liv Morgan defending against Io Sky. Now this hasn't had a crazy build and this match feels like it's been a bit on the back burner. It feels to me like the main rivalry has been Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley, the same way it's been for the majority of the year. I really do feel like Io Sky is just a passenger on this rivalry, a little bit like a filler arc in an anime. Then once Liv Morgan's done here, she's going to go back into her main rivalry with Rhea Ripley. Yes, Liv Morgan has assessed the threat of Io Sky and known that it's real, but it doesn't take away from the fact that the majority of her attention, even during the rivalry, has still been on Rhea Ripley. And it's not good for the fans to see that, because then we just don't care. And that's poor, because I do think that Io Sky is the best professional wrestler in the world. Yes, I'm aware Stephanie Vaquer, Roxanne Perez, Julia, Mercedes Moné, I know they all exist and they're really good. I'm just saying that Io Sky is part of that conversation, if she's not the entire conversation itself. Now the thing is, Triple H does a lot of long-term booking, so the chances of him having a spontaneous title change on a random PLE for a world championship is very low. He usually changes the titles SummerSlam, WrestleMania. That's pretty much it really. And this isn't SummerSlam or WrestleMania. Plus, the way this thing's been booked, I can only see Rhea Ripley being the one to take away the championship from Liv Morgan. And until then, I feel like the championship is locked down. So, I'm picking Liv Morgan to retain. Next, we got the Ring General, the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther, defending his title against Finn Balor and Damian Priest. It wasn't originally the case. Originally, it was just supposed to be Finn Balor versus Gunther. But as Finn Balor's been constantly provoking Damian Priest, he screwed Damian Priest out of the championship on multiple occasions. Adam Pearce thought it was only right to say, you know what? You want to be in Damian Priest's business? Let's make U2's business the same thing. Adding Damian Priest to the match. And if you ask him, Finn Balor's not watching face, but his energy seems a little bit different from what's coming out of his mouth. Now I must say, I think this is going to be the match of the night. You can put that on everything. But as for the story, I do think that Gunther is suffering from the same thing as Io Sky. To a lesser degree, of course, because he is the world champion. This seems more like Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. It feels like their rivalry, but we just happen to have the World Heavyweight Championship involved. The ring general feels like he's caught in the middle, but it doesn't really matter as much here. It doesn't seem like a waste of time. Now, I didn't want Finn Balor and Damian Priest to be back in a rivalry. I was so annoyed when Finn Balor reared his ugly head at Survivor Series. Well, he's not ugly, no homo, but that's a different conversation anyway. I was so annoyed when he reared his ugly head and he interfered and cost Damian Priest the World Heavyweight Championship again, because I knew it was just going to end up in more matches. Not that they have bad matches, they have pretty good matches, but it's just a case of where do they go from here? Are we beating a dead horse? And I kind of think we are, but we just need Triple H to see it too. And I'm sorry to anyone that sees the vision. If you see the vision, try to tell me what you see. Maybe I can get on board. I'm always open-minded, but right now, Finn Balor versus Damian Priest, just allow it. Of course, we knew we had to have this match. We knew it was going to go here after the way Survivor Series ended. But let's just say after this match, they have one more match after that, one-on-one, and then we allow it. But the predictions, as I've said already, this is a rivalry between Finn Balor and Damian Priest. It doesn't really involve Gunther that much. Gunther just doesn't get along with either of them. He's the World Heavyweight Champion. He's got to take on all comers and accept all challenges. This is just another one of those situations. Sometimes you get challenged with respect, and sometimes you get challenged with disrespect. This is a case of where he's been challenged with a bit of disrespect. But I do see him overcoming this challenge, putting Damian and Finn behind him and letting them sort out their own squabbles, and him moving on to a new rivalry. So if that's not clear, I predict that the World Heavyweight Championship stays on Gunther. And then this is the match I assume will be the main event. Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens for the undisputed WWE Championship. Now, as I said, aside from the New Day storyline that's currently going on, aside from the whole Bloodline saga, Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes, they have been my favourite rivalry. Like, Kevin Owens has taken it to a whole new level. He's not just coming out to the ring and cutting promos. He's not just simply attacking people. He's pretty much acting like he's the good guy, like he's a martyr that's been punished by the system. A system which is coddling this golden boy in Cody Rhodes, telling the wrong narrative, making everybody just forget what has been happening with the Bloodline for years, what he's been through with the Bloodline, forgetting that he selflessly fought against the Bloodline in order to allow other people to ascend to WWE Championships at WrestleMania, really making it seem that he is the bad guy. That looks like the storyline, and I think that Kevin Owens has done a great job of getting that across. Of course, Cody Rhodes has done his thing as well. He's definitely one of the best mic workers, and I'm not just talking about in the WWE today, I'm talking about in history. Cody Rhodes can sell a promo. Now, as for the bout, for the first time in Cody Rhodes' illustrious reign, it doesn't feel like he's doing some filler arc when it's not to do with the Bloodline. Like, to be honest, you knew that AJ Styles was never going to beat that man. You knew that Kevin Owens in the first match was never going to beat that man. And even though Solo Sikoa is Bloodline, so it's not necessarily a filler, it's an addition to the story, you knew that Solo Sikoa was never going to beat Cody Rhodes and become undisputed champion. The championship has never been in jeopardy. This time, I feel like it could be, because I feel like there's a little bit of money in Kevin Owens taking the championship and holding it for a little while. It doesn't even have to be long. It could just be a couple of months. You could probably drop it back to him at the Royal Rumble in February. And yeah, I know what newer fans are thinking. What? He's going to drop the title. He has to hold it for 316 days or 1316 days or whatever. No, not everybody does that. It wasn't like that back in the day. That was Roman Reigns. Don't make him condition you to be stupid. People picking up and dropping titles left and right back in the day. I'm not saying hot potato the title, but I'm saying a title change can happen. It is allowed. But here's the thing. I do think that Triple H loves his long-term booking, and that title is only going to be touched by Roman Reigns or The Rock. But the problem with that is that The Rock has not been booked for anything. They don't have any plans for The Rock to come back yet. But still, I think that the WWE are going to hold out until they can find a sufficient way to get to Cody versus The Rock, Cody versus Roman, Roman versus The Rock, and they're going to make the WWE Championship surround that. And I don't think they're going to make Cody drop the title in the meantime. even if he can just get it back, like I said. So I do think that Cody Rhodes is going to retain the WWE Championship at Saturday night's main event. So that is all the matches. Let me hear what you guys think. Tell me your predictions in the comment section. Tell me what you think is going to happen. Even if it's interference, a surprise return, a betrayal, a face turn, a heel turn, let me know. I'd like to get other people's perspective on what they think is going to happen at Saturday night's main event. But that's all I've got for you today. Thank you for listening to my bullshit. Don't forget to leave a like. Remember to subscribe and leave your thoughts in the comment section down below.